We want to honor you. We want to magnify you. Your name is exalted. Your name is glorified in the heavens, upon the earth, and under the earth. Thank you for your love that you administered to us today. We thank you for your presence. You may be seated for a moment, beloved. Worship team, just remain here. We can sing another song. We know this morning that I mentioned that Pastor Sheldon Swano went home to be with the Lord. But before I go into that is great Father, and that plays sometimes the drums for us. But before I going into that, just a little bit of a tribute to people that influenced my life. And number one was my father. Amen. Amen. Those who were with us from the beginning knows that he was the patron of this ministry, so he was the father figure of this ministry. So if you have a problem with me, then you go to him. So it is because of his life and his legacy that I'm standing here today. And because of the impartation that I received in his life, from his life. And the other thing that is very important was that he was one that always, when I traveled, he would say, I'm praying for you. I watch the meetings. So we know the impact of their lives in our lives. So number one, my father played a major role. He never questioned. I mean, he come from the AFF, and I was born in the AFF. So the day when I left, he never questioned. The day when I went into ministry, he never questioned. He just believed the word of the Lord for my life. And many times he would promote me even when I didn't even want to promote. You know, that's how parents are. They don't care how you feel at that moment. They just see all the good stuff in your life and so on. But that's the way he was. And so we on and on for that. There's some other men that's not with us today. Men like Dr. Norman Shepherd. How many remember you? Yes. In the early years when I came to Cape Town, and that was my main church that I used to go and attend and be part of. And when I'm not traveling and going to some places, and I ministered many times at his church. And he went home to be with the Lord at the age of, I think, 55, long before he started. It wasn't God's time, but sometimes things happen. You have to take care of your body. You have to. Yes. I mean, he was a hard work. But you must learn in ministry, there's a time to go hard and fast, but there's a time to rest. Because you are the custodian of the presence of God. Doesn't matter how good you are, but whatever. So they played a major role. Then there was another man by the name of, and Portia will know him very well, Louis Dunn, Apostle Louis Dunn. A man also that believed in what God was doing in my life. Many times I would go and minister, and many times I would go to their services, and I was invited to some of their functions. So we honor God for these men that open doors. I mean, they opened doors for me in the Western Cape. I'm from the AFM, but a few of them opened the doors. There's still one I have to mention him, Jeremy Usaias, Apostle Pastor Jeremy Usaias from Stanford Cape. I ministered in his church as well, so God has been good to me, and that's the reason I can accept. My ministry wasn't birthed there. My ministry was birthed when I traveled up in the north. And we will go into it on a later day. But I honor these men here in Cape Town because of what they've done. And then, the last but not least, Umeni. Pastor Henry. I think he passed away last year at the age of 90 or 89. After his retirement, I think I preached for about 18 years, every year, once or twice, 2 weeks in his church for many years, 18 years. So we honor these men and we give God the praise, the glory for what they have done, and so on. And the other thing is Pastor Swano, who was a friend of us, and now all the men that I mentioned were not perfect in the walk, but they were men that were of great value and put great value and emphasis upon our lives. And then Pastor Swano, who was a friend and actually very close friend to my brother as well. So we honor him this morning for the way God used him in a supernatural way in my life as well, by opening doors for me. Because if it wasn't for him and my brother, I would never even preach in the church that my father planted. So they locked the door for me currently in their church. Not planted, I mean built. The church was already planted. But I don't really care. You know, Ruth, chapter 2, verse 12, is the God of recompense. I want to say to the Swallow family, God will recompense. Amen. For the work that your father has done. Yes. But he will also recompense the wickedness that was done against his life.
Yes, 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 yes.
Now, I don't say boastfully, but that's the way God is.
Yes.
And we want to honor his memory and say to the family, the grace of God is upon you. Don't look behind, look forward. Because greater things in your life than your father ever experienced, you will experience. You will see the goodness of God in the land of the living. Amen. That is to the family. May the Lord bless you, and may the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Amen. God bless you. Can we stand and sing that song? Bow down and worship him. I just decided this morning, I wasn't planning on doing it because I didn't write the wrong thing on Facebook. But I will write something later. We believe God. I believe the funeral will be the 18th of December in the AFM of Goodwood. I'll let you know about the arrangements and stuff. Can we stand and sing that song? I hope you don't feel depressed.